Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for popping in and taking a look here. Today, we are honored to have Chuck Gafford, the owner, co-owner with his wife of HomeFront United Realty Group in San Antonio, and fellow veteran, not Navy, but that's okay. We'll forgive for that, right? And both in real estate. And as you know, this is a conversation with other realtors from around the country to just learn about what's going on in their lives, what's going on in their business, what's going on in their market, and gleaning those best practices so that our clients can understand what they should expect from an amazing realtor and what other real estate agents can pick up as best practices. So Chuck, thanks, man. I love the fact that we're getting the opportunity to spend time together.
Well, I just want to open by saying thank you. Thank you, Brett. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for creating this podcast, for creating this platform for us to have this conversation and to better serve our clients.
Yeah.
It is my honor to be here. So I will steal that away from you. Even though you're Navy, even though you're no, I loved all my Navy brothers and sisters. They were literally the smartest and best trained. Don't tell my Air Force brothers that I know that.
That's okay, because the Air Force is the best looking by far. So, yeah.
What is it? It's a Billy Crystal character. It is better to look good than look marvelous.
Marvelous. Yeah. Well, we all come to real estate from different kind of backgrounds, right? There's very few realtors that start out in their 20s going, hey, this is what I'd like to do for a career. This is the calling God put on my heart. This is the direction I want to go. And so share a little bit about kind of how did you wind up in real estate when military is the background?
Absolutely. So I actually like to say that I got into real estate the same way I got into the military. And so what I mean by that is, so I took, we all took like weeks and months building that dream sheet. Like, these are the 10 places that I want to go. This is where I see my destiny for this assignment for my life personally. And so I submitted that to the world. I submitted that to the Air Force. You know what? Like, none of those came back. Like, everything that I put on my
dream. 0 for 10?
Yes, over 10. Weird. And so I say that a little bit in jest, but so I came from my last assignment was at the NSA, and so the market for being able to hack into bad guys' computers and make them do bad things. There's not a big market for that in the civilian sector.
Right.
I did do that for about 2 years. And my beautiful wife was dropping hints the entire time. Like, hey, Chuck, you know those homes that we bought at every duty station? Like, we did pretty good at that. You sure you don't want to, join me in real estate? Hey, Chuck, like, you're pretty good with people. You sure you don't want to join me in real estate? And no, that's not for me. No, I don't want to. That wasn't my identity when I was looking at getting out and then got out. What is it? If you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans.
That's right.
Lovingly, my wife tricked me into real estate. And I say that with all the love and the respect and the knowing that she was right. So it was about a year before I was actually exiting active duty. So paperwork was in, was going to retire, and she came to me and like, hey, Chuck, it would be amazing if you got licensed. It would just give me a little bit of flexibility. I could like send you on a showing here and there, like on a weekend when you're not going to work. Could you just, get licensed? Sure, love. For you, absolutely. And so 180 hours later, and 2 tests, we do 180 hours here in Texas. It is the highest in the country.
That's impressive.
And just like everyone else, we use about 10% of what they force us to memorize.
That's right. That's right. Well, what's funny is that's almost exactly my real estate origin story as well. 25 years, right? 25 years in the Navy. I didn't want to, kind of like you, I just didn't want to do the things that everybody else was doing. My buddies were flying for the airlines, and, and I just, not that I didn't love flying, I just didn't have my heart anymore. God did something different in my life. And Lisa had been in real estate when I was hitting the 25-year mark for about 15 years. And she kept whispering in my ear, real estate, real estate. And eventually I relented. I got licensed and worked with a couple of clients before hanging up the uniform, like on weekends and stuff, and absolutely fell in love with it. It was everything I loved about being an officer in the military for 25 years, less all the, probability of dying stuff, but interpersonal leadership, strategic thinking, high risk, like mentoring people through cloudy situations. It was everything that we have been trained to do for like so many years, just put into a place where it had a direct impact on individual families instead of like national security. So I love that we've got that echo between each other. Like your wife and my wife would probably have a ton of fun hanging out, just sipping on a glass of wine and laughing about the stories over us, right?
We will make that happen, sir. That's
yes, absolutely. I feel a family reunion in the future. There you go. So share a little bit about like when you're serving clients, right? Every real estate agent is an individual entrepreneur, even though we all, like those of us that have similar hearts, tend to gravitate into the same families, like Keller Williams, right? So what is your approach, and like what is a client's expectation and experience when they're working with you, either personally or with the HomeFront United Group?
So talking about the client experience and describing that?
Sure. Yeah, you can be, let's talk either client experience, like what they'll approach, or what's your mindset as you're approaching a client? How are you thinking? What are you trying to glean from them so that you can mentor them in the best way possible?
Absolutely. So the first, middle, and last thing that we are going to focus on, and that we're going to have as our kind of our expectation conversation, is their goals. And so I'm going to ask that up front. What is your goal as a family? What does it look like for your family to get a win from this process? And so I'm going to dig deep. So 3, 4, and 5 times I'm going to ask that question. I don't know if you've heard the concept of 5 whys.
Yeah.
But digging down 5 deep to get to like, what is that true goal? Like, is it a timeline? Do we need to be in your next duty station prior to your RNLTD? Do we need to pay off this car? Do you have credit card debt that is just weighing on your heart, and we need to get that paid off so that you can get to your next duty station with less weight on your shoulders?
And let's kind of make sure we help people understand context for them and their experience. Out of all the clients that you've walked through this mentoring process, how many were able to clearly identify and share with you the goal right out of the gate when you're like, hey, what are you trying to achieve in this process of buying a home or selling a home? Out of all of the people you've mentored, how many had it figured out right out of the gate?
So I will tell you, I will start by saying every single one of them thought that they had a very clear and precise goal when we dug into it. And about 90% of them pivoted and adjusted and refined their goal as we continued to have those conversations. And so each time we hit a milestone in the process, so they get an offer. So fantastic, here presenting the offer, and just wanted to make sure before we dig in, we talked about your timeline being the most important consideration for a deal. And so I wanted to make sure that I framed this offer with regard to that goal. Is that still our target? Oh, well, now that I'm looking at, 10,000 more than I was expecting, 50,000 more than I was expecting, it would be really nice to do X and Y and Z. Okay, so I'm hearing that if you don't arrive by your RNLTD, that's okay. Oh, well, no, I really do need to ride by it more. Oh, but my spouse can stay here. She can stay in the home, and so we can accept, or we can try and achieve both. But I absolutely have to arrive by my RNLTD. Okay, so we're gonna re-examine and question reality, and that goal again at each one of those steps in the process to make sure that the goal is still the goal.
Yeah.
Does
And
that
a lot
answer
of
the question?
and I think what you're pointing to is a lot of times people don't understand what questions they should ask themselves within the context of how real estate intersects with life, and how real estate intersects with careers, and how real estate intersects with family experiences and situations and whatnot. And they don't think about that until they have somebody who's willing to spend the time and sit down and do the hard work of pouring into their heart, not just selling an asset. You can get anybody to paint a for sale sign and put it on a stick in your front yard. To help you achieve a goal is an entirely different experience, though.
Absolutely, and kind of what we were talking about with the Science of Scaling book, making sure that we have the right goal completely changes the process, the focus, and what do we need to have in place to make sure that we hit your goal in your timeline. If that timeline is 30 days, that's a very different process than if your timeline is a year from now.
Right.
Like we're going to be executing different things in order to make that happen for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned process. Walk me through if I'm one of your clients, right? We go through the initial mentoring conversation and phase. So now I understand. Pick it. I'm either a buyer or a seller. Now I've got some pretty good clarity on what I'm actually trying to achieve for myself and for my family. What does that process look like as we walk down that road?
So we've gone through that initial conversation. We've built a plan around, and my focus is primarily on the sell side. So that's what I'll speak to. So we set those expectations of what is the next step in the process, and what are we going to do in order to achieve that next step in the process. And so we will. We have met at the home, we have gone through the home, we have executed our checklist, and then our next step is to get them into their client portal, so they're able to partner with us in executing the things that need to be done in order to best prepare them for their goals on their timeline. Does that make sense so far, Brett?
It does. So there's clarity, there's a plan, there's no surprises, kind of is the goal that you've got coming into a relationship with the client is, I don't want you to be surprised. I want you to understand what's going on. There's going to be nerves, there's going to be a certain amount of anxiety because it's a monster financial decision for the family, but you want them to have confidence and clarity as everything is moving forward.
Absolutely. And so I touched on the client portal a little bit. And so the way that we deliver that clarity and what we like to say is transparency is when they're in that portal, they can literally see the 183-step process that we take to prepare their listing and their home for sale. They get to see who is executing it in real time, the step that we are on, and the progress and the notes that go along with each step in that process. And so one of the really cool features is that once we are live on the market, they can see the effectiveness of the marketing that we're doing, whether it's how many clients are clicking on the QR code that we sent out via postcards, or going live to their home's website based on the ads that we put on Facebook or Instagram. They get to see that in real time, the effective marketing doing the work to sell their home. And so that really gives our clients a sense of transparency, trust, and clarity about where we are in the process, that all the things that are going on behind the scenes are up to and exceeding the standard that we set. And we want to make sure that everybody that we come into contact with, especially our military clients, they're getting 5-star service. They're getting every possible advantage that they can. Because you and I know, if they're active duty, they're only getting 2, 3, maybe 4 years of equity before they're looking at selling. And we may touch on this a little bit more. Like, one of my main goals when I talk to a seller is to try and talk them out of selling with me. If they can turn their home into a rental property and make $100 a door after all costs of HOA, paying a property manager, paying taxes, all those pieces are paid. If they can still make $100 a door, I will do my best to talk them out of selling their home, because that's an asset that is making them money. And generational wealth is the biggest part of what we try and instill and educate and mentor for our clients, especially our military clients.
Yeah, it's so important to understand. And I would suggest that the military, right, and I'm not speaking poorly about our brothers and sisters in arms, but the military as a culture does not do a good job of helping people understand that financial stability and future financial generational wealth is something that improves readiness, that improves effectiveness, that improves all the things that we train to. And I similarly have a very similar or an equivalent question that I ask our seller clients. So when we sit down, one of the first questions I ask is, so I'm going to ask you a question that basically almost no other realtor that's going to sit in front of you is going to ask you. Have you thought about not selling your house? And they go, well, we think about, I don't know. And I say, okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at whether or not the better answer for you is that you do not sell your house. And I always get this kind of RCA dog look with the cocked head, like, I brought you here to sell my house. You make money if I sell my house. You don't make money if you don't sell my house. And the first conversation is about us not selling. Help me understand more about this, right? And I love it because people get to see the fact that bright lights shine brightest in the darkness, and like people like us that have a heart for the client and what's best for them, regardless of the impact on us and our business. It's a really cool thing to watch that light turn on in somebody.
And I would pivot that just a little bit, Brett.
Yeah.
It's selfish. Like, it is selfish to provide that experience for a seller, because time and time again, I have talked a seller out of selling their home because that can be a profit driver for their family and for the vision that they have for their future. And how are they not going to share that with friends and family? And so selfishly, like, it's the right thing to do. Like, it's just being honest. It's being an honest broker. And it's because we've had the experience, because we've gone through this process, we have seen the outcome of having real estate being a profit driver in your family's finances.
Yeah.
Like, we're
it's
going
called integrity, baby, right? Like doing the right thing no matter what and no matter who's looking. And yeah.
It pays forward. Go ahead.
I want to pull something out that you just mentioned. Let's talk just a second about the investment side of real estate and how to be an intentional, because I think most people have this concept that real estate investors are millionaires, that real estate investors have these bushel bags of Benjamin sitting in the corner of their living room just waiting for the right opportunity, and they just bring it, and that your regular average Joe can't do that. So tell me a little bit about, like, when did you guys start thinking strategically about real estate, getting into the investment thing for your family, and kind of where are you at now? How many doors do you have? Like, walk us through that.
So it was 2005 when I arrived in Tampa, Florida, and it was blowing up. Everybody who was leaving the unit was making 50, 70, 80, 100,000 in the 2 or 3 years. Actually, no, it was a 4-year controlled assignment, so it was 4 years. And so, like, it was just blitheringly obvious that that's what you needed to do to be successful. And I had a really good boss who, hey Chuck, like, you want to get in on this real estate thing, like in Tampa especially, like look around you, look at the environment that is Tampa. We're not just a military town only. We've got the medical district, we've got the entertainment district, and so because we have a strong economy, you want to buy here, and you want to turn that into a rental when you leave, because you see everybody around you, they're making 50, 60, 70 a door, and like, what about in 10 years? What about in 15 years? What about in 20 years? Oh, dang, sir, that is smart. That's why you're in charge.
You're right. So you had a strategic mentor who was pouring into you, somebody who was kind of pushing you into a place of discomfort to make that first step.
Dave Maher, man, great boss.
Yeah.
Air Force boss. One of my few Air Force bosses, strangely enough.
You kind of come from a pretty heavy joint or background. I don't want to get into too much detail about it, but like that's what you did was. Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's pass on from that.
A lot of fun. And so, with that mentorship, we decided to buy, and so we bought, and we bought for that next family. What is that E5, E6 family? What are they going to want as renters? And so that was the philosophy that we took. From Tampa, going up to beautiful, scenic Sumter, South Carolina. We loved Sumter so much that we bought two properties while we were there. Turned those into rentals as well. Went up to your neck of the woods. I actually got close to your neck of the woods. First we were at Quantico.
Yeah.
We were only there for a year, and then we went up to DC, and we were not brave. Like the sticker shock was too much.
Yeah, it's a different market, the Northern Virginia market, and there are those pockets of high price, and that's a big step, and I totally got that. That makes a lot of sense to apply wisdom and not just lurch into it. So, all right, so you're at 3 properties at this point, and then where?
And so the Air Force was kind enough to send me home. So as close as they could get. So I'm from North Texas, so they sent me to South Central Texas, so San Antonio. So we've purchased 3-4 homes if you count the beach home, the beach house, that we will keep forever because Karina will never let go of it. She loves the water. That's going to stay in our portfolio forever. And when we saw the top of the market in COVID times,
yeah,
we recognized that the iron was hot and the opportunity was too good. So we did sell off 3 of our properties. So our South Carolina properties, as well as one of our San Antonio properties. And so we've retained 3 now. Properties that are continuing to
create revenue for your family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have a gigantic, for us, a gigantic chunk of money that we get to throw at a brand new home that we are building. And in a year, we're not going to have a mortgage on our personal property,
wow.
Which is, it's going to be a very good feeling. Being able to say, like, we don't have a mortgage, is beautiful, and somebody else is paying our other 3 mortgages.
So smart. Yeah. And so kind of the strategy is don't buy the house that you want. And this is the investors kind of, how do we use our military PCS process to build wealth through real estate, right? It's not about trying to buy the biggest and best and most awesome, incredible thing. It's about just taking a minute and thinking strategically about, do I want this to be an asset for my family for the rest of my life, or do I want it to be an experience for my family for the next 24 to 36 months? That's really kind of what's on either side of the scale. And there's no right or wrong answer. You just, as long as you ask yourself that question, you've done the work, and then just execute based on what you've done. But don't stumble into it and look over your shoulder and go, man, it's been 10 PCSs and I don't own a single property. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be that.
Those conversations are so heartbreaking, Brett.
Yeah, yeah.
We probably have 2 or 3 a month where somebody comes to us after 20 years. Hey, coming back to San Antonio. This is where we want to retire. Never bought a house before.
Ready to buy my first home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, the mentoring conversation with those people is still just as important. It's like, okay, let's talk about the opportunity cost, and let's talk about how now is an opportunity to have an inflection in the trajectory of your family for the next generations. How can you use this experience to inform what they're going to do different so that their future looks entirely different than what's going on right now? And that's not a valuation and a judgment. That's just about loving somebody enough to pour into them and help them see the opportunity of the moment, right?
What is the Chinese proverb? When is the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the second best time to plant a tree? Right now.
Right now. That's right. You got it. You got it. So markets are different around the country, right? And you look at the national news and they pitch a very specific story, but that story is different in different localities. You know, location is kind of the thing that you hear about real estate, right? So share a little bit about what's going on in the San Antonio market right now.
Absolutely. So as far as the San Antonio market, I'll kind of juxtapose it or contrast it with the DC market. And so whether it's DC, whether it's heck, Miami or San Diego or any of those high priced markets, that ain't us. We don't have those price points that are going to allow us to well, I'll just say we are our median sales price as of last month, which is the latest that I have data for, was $315,200, and so that's the number that we use on a month-by-month basis in order to both understand our market and help train our team of agents. What is the opportunity for our clients? Where is the market going? And how can we best advise our clients on what they need to do and how much house makes sense for them compared to the person in their office to their left and to their right. Like we want to get them away from keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
And more so, hey, this is the reality of San Antonio. It's right at 315,000. Can we find something beneath that? Can we find something that is maybe has some cosmetic issues? So I don't know. It doesn't have a backsplash. Like the paint isn't perfect. Like those easy things, especially in the kitchen, that we can update.
Yeah.
That's going to instantly provide go from a negative to maybe not a wow factor, but maybe we can get to that wow factor if we put some money aside and do some projects over the next year, 2 years. So it is that wow house for that E5, E6 family, also knowing that may not be their goal as a buyer, and that's okay. But it's up to us to educate and empower, and we don't get to make any of those choices on behalf of our clients.
Yeah, sure. So in the San Antonio market, given the dynamics and the kind of all the metrics and all the data, how early should a seller start getting ready to enter the market? Like, at what point should their first sit down with you be? How early should they get started?
So for a seller, we're looking at 6 months out, depending on which specific micro market you are in. So if you are on the northeast side of town, we need to start the process at the 6 month point. We need to start getting the home ready and getting on market because we are so overbuilt and there's so much inventory on the northeast side, which is right in the heart of Randolph Air Force Base.
Right.
And homes are just staying on the market because of how much inventory there is. But if we go down closer to the center of the city or in the Stone Oak area, we have the luxury of, maybe we can get away with 90 days, maybe we can get away with 120 days starting the process, because we know that we're only going to be on the market for 30 to 60 days before that home sells, if we've done a great job of marketing and preparing the home for sale.
Sure. Okay. So what I'm hearing is for a lot of the military demographic, which we both serve pretty heavily, those conversations are starting before you even have a conversation with your detailer or your monitor or your community manager, whatever the point of contact is in your whatever uniform you're wearing. Your real estate conversations are starting before you're even having the conversation about what's available for my next set of orders. You're going based on what's your expected roll date, pull back 6 months and at least start a conversation.
Absolutely. And so if I'm doing my job well, we're actually starting 6 months before that, because I'm providing you a market report on a month by month basis of, this is what your home's worth, this is what you could expect in a sale, this is how much your home's worth, this is how much you can expect in a sale. So that should be hitting your inbox if I'm doing my job well every month. Every quarter we should be having a conversation regarding that report, how accurate it is, because it's automated. It's not me, crunching the numbers each time. I can't do that at scale. I'm good. I'm not that good. And so that gives us an opportunity to have that conversation and make sure that we have the right target. And assuming that we do we have the right timeline? And what are we expecting for orders? What are we expecting for TDYs or any hurdles that are going to come up that could make the process more challenging, or change who is my point of contact for the sale, to make sure we don't hit any hurdles that we can jump over easily if we plan well.
Avoiding surprises, and knowing that if something pops up that wasn't expected in the process, that we've already thought through it and we know how to either get around it or get over it, depending on what it might be. Good.
Because we maintain contact, we've continued to validate reality.
Validate reality. That's a good one for sure. All right. Well, Chuck, as we're coming to the end of our time here, share with us what's one thing that was like really influential professionally or personally, whether it was a book or an experience or a course that you took. Like, share something that popped into your head right there.
So I'm gonna cheat, and I'm gonna pull two.
All right.
So they're inherently interlinked, and it doesn't sound like they are at first, but I promise you they are. So the first one is a book called Leadership and Self-Deception. Okay. It's by the Arbinger Institute, and it was so pivotal to my thinking, to my planning, that I taught it to every single one of my NCOs, all of my O's, and we always had essentially a book club around this book at each one of my units, and it focuses on the fact that I am the problem. I am the center of every problem that has ever been in my world, period, dot. Like there's one commonality to every problem I've ever had, and it's me. And so what is the only thing that I can change? Me. Like, you can influence other people, but you can only change you. And that's the only way to solve actual problems. And so the question centers around, like, what is it that I'm allowing to distort my perception of the world? What assumptions am I making? How am I thinking that leads me to blame others? Can I let that go so that I can change, become the person that I need to be to actually solve the problem?
That sounds like a pretty great book. I just wrote it down. It's on my read list for sure.
And it's great. Like, your kids can read it. If you have small kids, you don't. You have
yeah, we got 26 and 22-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah, it's written at like a second or third grade level. It tells the story, and when you get halfway through the book, it just punches you square in the forehead with, "Oh my God, I am the problem.
Wow.
I need to fix everything about me," which is really just one thing. Question: what are the assumptions that I am making that are distorting my view? What is causing me to point out? Because 3 fingers are pointing back to me, and that's the real problem.
That's right.
And so that's the first one. Oh, go ahead, Brett.
I was going to say, yeah. So what's the second one?
All right. The second one is a book called Raising Emotionally Smart Boys. And so David Thomas walks through a whole lot of research that he has done, as well as individual case studies that he has done. And he focuses on boys. It's equally applicable to the other 51% of the population. But because I have 2 sons, that's where I started. And it focuses on a 3-step process. He calls it the 3 R's. So it's recognize, regulate, and repair. And so holistically, like, our communication determines the quality of our relationships. Our relationships are our world. So the communication that I have with my spouse, the communication I have with my kids, the communication I have with my teammates, the communication that I have with my clients, that is my world. Like, I don't have any other way to interact with the world other than through how I communicate with my body and my voice. And so that all gets filtered through this, like, rotten Swiss cheese, I don't know, thing that I call a brain.
Yeah, right.
And so just like in leadership and self-deception, like, there's distortion, there is self-deception that happens in this Swiss cheese.
It gets twisted, it gets influenced, it gets bent, and we got to be intentional about pulling that apart.
Because I want to feel good in the moment, and if I did something wrong, like, I want to defend myself immediately. Like, I don't want to feel bad, so I'll insta make up a story, and then I'm in self-deception. I insta make up a perspective and a lens through which I see the world, and that bends everything that comes into my brain, and therefore everything that comes out of my mouth in communication. So I've got to recognize emotion, because that is my indicator. I feel a physical sensation in my body before I say something stupid. And so for me, it's a pressure in my chest. That is where I feel anger, anxiety, and sometimes, exhaustion, tiredness. Most of those feelings for me center in my chest. And so that's where I try and have mindfulness throughout my day around that physical part of my body, as weird as that sounds. And so the second step is regulate. What can I do that has worked in the past to tamp that down and get me in a better, calmer state? Sometimes it's time, sometimes it's breathing. So I've got an emotions chart in my kiddo's room, and sometimes I go in there and I look at the emotions and I'm like, oh, like,
there I am right there.
I am that face. And the other side of it is what are my strategies? What are the strategies I can do? And it's called the post is called the calm down strategies. And so I'll go in there and like, there's nothing better for my world than going for a run. So if I can go for a run, it's going to clear my head, and that is my meditation space. I also meditate. I'm just not good at it unless I'm running. There's something about the repetitive motion and repetitive breathing that you can go zen.
I bet that's also a place where you find solutions to complex problems.
It 100%.
It's like, yeah, there's something about that process. I'm the same way. Yeah.
Like probably half of my runs, like I stop my watch, I pull out my phone, I make notes, start my watch and start running again.
If you haven't figured it out there, entrepreneurs are a little weird, so.
Yes. These are the good ones. And so the last step in the 3 R's are recognize, regulate, and then repair. Like, what are the things that I need to do, that I need to say to breathe life back into this relationship? And from their perspective, what do they need to hear? How do they need to hear it? So I'm sure you're familiar with the 5 love languages.
Absolutely, Chapman. Yep.
So from my interaction with this human, what am I pretty sure they're going to be receptive to? Is it compliments? Is it small gifts? Is it physical touch? You got to be careful with that with clients.
Sure.
You want to grab a client's hand and like look deeply in their eyes on the first conversation. Even if that's their love language, it probably won't go over well.
Yeah, you need to build into that.
And so, if we're hitting those 3 R's, like, we're going to have better communication. We're going to have a better experience in our own physical body and feel better. We're gonna feel more aligned with the human being that we want to be, and that's going to be expressed to the other human beings in our world. It really is transformational for how I see the world, how I interact with other people, to allow me to be the brother, son, dad, husband, and leader that I want to be on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Well, my book that I loved and still love and talk about all the time is called Raising a Modern Day Knight. Obviously, being father of 2 sons, one of the things I figured out early on is, if I want to succeed as a father, I have to have a strategic goal, kind of like everything else, right, that we were just talking about. Is you need to think through what we're trying to achieve, not just what we're doing in the moment. And Raising Modern Day Knight is about how to take boys and raise them strategically into authentic manhood. And that starts with being able to clearly define what is an authentic man. Because if you don't have target specification, you're going to have a really hard time hitting it. And so start by, and to this day, Evan and Matt have said, hey, what are the 4 cornerstones of an authentic man? They'd say, accept responsibility, lead courageously, reject passivity, and expect God's greater reward. Like it's in their head. And there's a lot more to that. I highly commend that book to you or to anybody else that is really kind of in that space of influencing men specifically, children, boys, even more specifically. But it's an amazing book.
Just pulled it up, 4.7 stars, 1,303 reviews.
Yeah.
On Amazon. It is going directly into my Audible account.
It is really good. So, all right. Well, hey, we are at the end of our time. Chuck, thanks so much for spending time with us and just sharing your thoughts, your experiences, your journey. And let's be clear, if you're heading to the San Antonio area, or if you're leaving the San Antonio area, it doesn't matter if you want to buy a house or not buy a house. You should have a conversation with somebody that is willing to pour into you so that you can show up and leave with a better perspective on what real estate can do for you and for your family. And this guy right here is an amazing mentor with an incredible heart that is going to be willing to sit down and grab a coffee, lunch, cocktail, and just really spend some quality time with you. So Chuck, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, again, my absolute pleasure, brother. Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you for creating this ecosystem, and for the great work that you do on behalf of the military community, military families. Like, I just can't thank you enough, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Y'all have a great one out there, and we'll see you on the next episode.